Hi everybody. So I come to you today from my mother's porch with my little peanut pupper. She's 18 years old, so she's really old. But anyway, so I come here today to talk to you guys about an attack that has been coming against me and the person that I love. So my boyfriend and I, we've got some issues. I mean, we're not perfect. We're not a perfect couple by any means, but we do understand each other a lot, and we do, I guess, go with the flow as far as arguments go. We hardly ever have any arguments. We hardly have any disagreements. We're both kind of just, we just kind of go with the flow majority of the time. But recently, something that is an issue for us personally in our relationship has been heightened. It's been highlighted, and it's not because of anything that we've done or anything that we haven't done. I know that right now spiritual attacks are on the rise as far as individual people and as our country as a whole, as the world as a whole. And I feel like, personally for me, I was about ready to give up. I was completely ready to give up. Like, I was falling apart. I told him, for the first time in a long time, I broke down and I was crying about wanting to go home. And I haven't cried about wanting to go home. And I don't mean home here like with my mom. I mean home here like with God. And that's what really made me realize that this wasn't just something personal between me and my boyfriend. This was something physically attacking my spirit. Something was attacking my soul. Something was trying to cause friction and cause a divide. And I feel like it's very, very, very important for me to tell you. That way you can tell other people that the time that we're in right now, yes, it is horrible, and yes, there are many, many different spiritual attacks coming against us. We've got people physically causing harm and violence against others. We have people who are destroying our religions. We have people who are tearing apart the foundation and the world that we have all grown up in, that we've lived in. And sometimes sometimes that destruction is needed as far as the way that the system is that we live in. Honestly, I will be the first one to tell you right now, our system is shit, okay? My son was taken away by his grandfather because I left for 3 days. 3 days. And yet, because my birth father was an officer, he got his boss to approve a restraining order to say that I abandoned my son, when that's not what happened. And that's not what this is about. And yes, that still bothers me, and yes, that still gets to me. Which is why I can tell you right now that I'm not perfect. I still have some hate and I still have some anger in me, but majority of that is more towards me, not towards them anymore. But I will tell you that I know that the system is messed up. The system is beyond messed up, and the only way that it's going to change is if there's a complete and utter destruction of it. However, that destruction does not mean that, things have to burn and that people have to suffer. That's not what that destruction has to mean. That destruction can mean the changing of a cycle or the changing of a perspective. Because that's really what this all boils down to, is a perspective. There's different religions have different perspectives of things. Different cultures have different perspectives of things. Even me and my sister, who grew up together, have different perspectives of both of our parents. I mean, it's personalized to the individual. So with that being said, that individual, i.e. me or i.e. you, has to remember that regardless of whatever is going on, you're here for a reason. Regardless of what that reason is. I read a meme the other day that said, I never really understood, or I never really noticed all the different side characters that are in my story or something like that. And then somebody had responded to it, and this was part of the original meme, but there was a response to that said, yeah, it's weird to think about how I'm the main character in my story, and all these people that I drive past are just side characters that I know nothing about, and to my story they don't mean anything, but they have their own story, and to them I'm just a side character that they don't know about. And that's really what life is, you know, that's how things are in our lives. I mean, there's so many people. This town that I live in, there's 15,000 people in the town that I live in. I know like 4 of those people. That's not a lot compared to who lives around me. Now, in 20 miles from my house, I probably know about 10 people. That's not a lot. And that's my town of 15,000, and then the next town I want to say is probably around the same. So that's 30,000 people within the span of 20 miles that I don't know, you know? But I can take my beautiful smile and my optimism and hopefully change somebody's day by just smiling at them, or just by holding the door for somebody, or by, you know, saying thank you or even saying excuse me. Like if you almost accidentally walk into somebody, just an excuse me. Like when I don't go to stores very often, but especially because of what's going on right now, but when I do and I happen to walk by somebody and I catch them looking at me, I smile at them. And yeah, it's a little hard right now with everybody wearing masks to tell who's smiling, but that's the best part, right? Okay. So, when I smile, see my eyes? They get like squinty, right? That's how you know somebody's smiling at you. That's how you know that, I really don't have to wear these all the time. I just feel weird without wearing them. But that's how you know that somebody is nice. And niceness goes a long way. So does common courtesy. And I'm not saying that everybody here, you know, deserves it all the time, because honestly sometimes people will make you hate them and people will make you so angry. But there is always something better. There's always something that you don't know about. There's always something that might have upset them or might have messed their day up a little bit, and so they're just a little down and they're just a little low vibrational. But you can turn that around. You can make their day better. You can give them a smile. You can save somebody's life. There were a lot of times in school growing up on days when I honestly just didn't even care if I ate. I didn't care if the car hit me when I crossed the road. I didn't care what happened. But there was always one person who used to always make me feel better. And I don't even think they realized how much they made me feel better. And let me be real, technically it was 2 people because they're twins, but they always made me feel better. And they may not have realized it, and believe it or not, they were actually probably my worst bullies, because they were the friends who didn't always treat me like a friend. But they also always made my day. They were the ones who stopped me from hurting myself a lot. And granted, you know, I'm 25 now, and I've probably got about 40 scars from self-harming myself, but I'm still here. You know, my son wouldn't be born if I wasn't here. My little sister wouldn't, honestly, my little sister probably would not be as happy as she is right now if I wasn't here. My mom definitely would not be okay if I was not here. So I'm telling you that you can make somebody's day better, and that's all it takes. That's all we need. We don't need any more of this violence, of these riots. And I get why people do it. I get the anger. I get the hatred. But that doesn't solve anything. That doesn't make anything better, okay? I mean, I feel like people need to understand that our time's coming to an end. It is. What we know, the world that we've all grown up in, the world that we've been accustomed to, the people we've met, the things we've seen, it's all ending. It's all coming to an end, and things are going to be completely different from here on out. And the only thing that's going to save you, and the only thing that's going to help you, is your faith in God, and your faith in Jesus. And listen, you don't have to believe me. Just give it one chance. Just give it one chance. Just pray for like a week. Just pray for a week. Read from the Bible for a week. Just open your heart and your mind to all of the beauty and all of the love and all of the things he has to offer us. Because I'm telling you, God is good all the time, regardless of what anybody else says. Okay?